Energies for tomorrow. Planets. Sun. Demonstration, realization, and acting like a leader. Creating and gaining respect. Bringing things to light. Let's see. The sun in what sign? In Leo. It's funny since Sun rules Leo. Again, leadership, creativity, self-confidence, and taking chances, impressing others. And what house, what area of life will this be affecting people? Be important to know about. Eighth house, personal power, mysteries of life, and major changes. Using power and resources. So you can check out what you have in the eighth house, and maybe it's important for you. Let's pull one card as a foundation card from the Art of Life Tarot. Highest and greatest good of all. Energies for tomorrow, following week, whenever you see this. High Priestess. At the center of your being, you have the answer, you know who you are, and you know what you want. Laozi. Gothic Window by Odilon Redden, 1900. Indianapolis Museum of Art, USA. This is about having a lot of experience and things to draw from your subconscious, from your dreams, from your intuition, using it all together to create something, maybe, or to just have some good insights, some good foresights, peering beyond the veil, bringing down the veil, maybe, if you need to. The High Priestess is someone who has knowledge and secrets and a little bit of mystery to them. Maybe penetrating that mystery if this is someone you're dealing with, or if it's you might be holding back a little bit. Holding back a little bit of information, only saying what's necessary, only saying what you need to say. I have music playing because I hate the silence, but it's a little bit distracting. The Ten of Cups is on the bottom. Let us be grateful to people that make us happy. They are the charming gardeners who make our souls blossom. Marcel Proust, Gardener's Daughter by Edward Henry Leonard, 1860, private collection. It's about guarding what's a little bit information that you have that maybe others know, maybe not, maybe they should, or they, it's kind of up to you to use your own intuition, your own sort of guidance to figure out what to say and what not to say. Because the High Priestess holds back, it's kind of like guardian of gateways, guardian of secret knowledge and the other side, and letting some people in. It's also a very spiritual card. Sometimes it's associated with Mary, and which makes me think of, I got from them I've never heard of this before, maybe you have, the Jesus and Mary chain. Never heard of it. So that's been coming through a lot, very spiritual, religious kind of things, and she's usually holding some sort of Torah book, book of knowledge, again, secrets, things that are a little bit hidden. So there might be things that are a bit hidden with the sun and Leo and illuminating what may be hidden. I feel like it's up to you to know whether or not you need to illuminate those things or not. Shine a light on them. Think of limelight or just a spotlight, something that brings light to a situation. You could be someone in a situation that has more knowledge than others, and it's you that's bringing some information to others to help them see the way, to illuminate some things that are a bit just unknown or just confusing or hidden. Or it really talks about, though, like looking within for answers, connecting to the other side, to spirit, to whatever it is that you believe in, to your higher self, and just looking inward for answers as well, knowing that you've been through enough to somehow parallel or relate what you're going through now to what you've been through, and gaining insight and clarity through that. Kind of looks like she's kind of sitting here daydreaming, and as she ponders, imagines, these flowers are kind of blossoming across the wall, taking shape, taking form, like she's creating a pattern, painting with her mind what she's going to make later on with the Empress. Bringing things to light, bringing things to life with the sun again. Maybe we'll move on, see if there's anything else that from the top deck. We'll pull one from like a bunch of different decks and just see what happens. So what else do people need to know for tomorrow and maybe the following week or whenever people see this? The Hangman. I'm trying to remember all the songs that I have, but definitely Coldplay, you can see the colors and things like that. This is about taking a time out, a break. Again, I just feel like it's very contemplative. So maybe there's a lot of thinking, brainstorming, trying to gain some perspective on things tomorrow. Maybe you're this person, maybe you're this person, maybe they're wondering about each other, or it could just be the energy. You know, things are a little bit hidden, a little bit in the dark, and you're taking a time out to gain some perspective, to just kind of hang out, listen to music, connect with whatever it is that you gain enlightenment from. Enlightenment. Again, it's kind of like things coming to light. It's like taking your time and just allowing answers to come to you. Just kind of sit quietly. Imagine all these different possibilities, seeing how they connect. It's number 12 too, and it's about creativity also, so music and just maybe trying some sort of new creative expression, creative outlet, something that you've maybe been wanting to try. Is there something like that you've been wanting to just kind of get your hands into? Maybe you've been taking your time, waiting around a little bit. Maybe doing something like that will give you a new context, new perspective on whatever it is you're wondering about. Just doing something, you know, getting the wheels moving. I find whenever I'm just a little bit not sure how to proceed, I do something that's within the same realm of whatever it is I'm wondering about, but it's, different, like painting a wall or something, just checking those things off your list and finding ways to make it fun. Both cards are just very like spiritual and contemplative, and just depending on your situation, it could be coming out of that. You've thought a lot about things, you've been taking a lot of time on your own, and wanting to sort of put those things into action, with what you've learned, with what you've found out. Maybe you have found out some secrets, some hidden truths, some information that came to you through meditation or just taking some time for yourself, even if it's like, 12, 15 minutes. But also sometimes it talks about like science too, just the scientist, and it's also kind of why in the Odyssey playlist I sort of had to work with the numbering and combined Coldplay's the scientist and the high priestess and the fool within the 12 slot. So maybe trying to weigh both the practical, scientific type things within a creative platform. Bring those two different facets together. See where they merge. See their overlap. See their conjunction point. Let's see. Brought so many decks down here, and I have one new one that I found that's really odd. I'll pull one more from this deck. But again, I feel like with the Sun and Leo, and there's just a big light here. This came through one time as one headlight, like the wallflowers. It's kind of wallflowers. Yeah, because usually his head is sort of lit up with a halo type thing. So again, finding enlightenment and through meditation, through creative work, through taking time for yourself. So again, spotlight or something like that. One headlight. Maybe you need to get your headlights fixed or something. Or what areas in your life are a little bit dark or shadowed over that you could, illuminate, clean up a little bit. The 8th house is about things that you don't really want to look at. It's about things that you kind of avoid. It's like that bill in your drawer that you don't want to deal with. It's the it's just, can also talks about like relationships too. So maybe it is the high priestess and the hangman, whoever that represents to you, in a relationship, and it's about intimate relationships more so than the 7th house, which can also cover partnerships. Maybe gaining power, personal power from taking something up like meditation or something like that. So the mysteries of life, it's like the 8th house and the 12th house, kind of like similar in a way. But the 12th house, that has more to do with like life mysteries and, it says mysteries of life. It's more so like the things that you just choose not to see. So if there's like things in your life that you are sort of just turning a blind eye to, like I feel like she's kind of turning a blind eye to also like something that she doesn't want to see. So you might be having to take care of some things. The only one that flipped up was the Star. So again, there's like this spotlight sort of. So where is in your life that you just really need to, maybe you feel like you're in the spotlight, maybe, I always think of astrology with this too, and outer space, and again, just bringing things to light. Star is about hope and inspiration and wishes sometimes. Gaining inspiration, looking for insights, kind of like the High Priestess, looking to your, whoever you consider star, or just someone who has a lot of knowledge, someone who guides you. So far, all major arcana, so very impactful events or just things that take, you might notice more so. It's also 17, so that's an 8, and I don't know why, but this just calls my attention a lot more. I never noticed how like transparent it is. I don't know what that would be, but it almost looks like it's becoming this planet, like she's pouring out and it's becoming this planet. So again, creation, inspiration to something also maybe. She kind of looks like she's doing multitasking. Maybe you just really need to focus tomorrow or the next few days. Maybe you're looking to the stars for guidance. These were turned over, but they were the Empress and the Eight of Cups and the Hermit. All these cards are like about looking for answers, maybe from above, maybe from someone who's in the scientific field, someone who just has, just represents these numbers or these people, these archetypes to you, maybe talking to someone. But it's also just kind of, again, like what's hidden from you. So it's just, there's so much illumination, so much lighting up your mind, so much bringing things to light. I mean, as always, things go both ways, so it could be shadowing something over, or the High Priestess reverse is a little bit, it's like all those characteristics in not a positive way. But really, there's so much positivity here with the Sun and the Hangman of creativity and the Star, and that's about your hopes and your dreams and your wishes and things to just inspire you and bring things to life within your mind and make you want to get off that, whatever he's here on, like on a tree hanging sometimes, like off the couch and bring it to life. It also could be Aquarius with the Star, the High Priestess, Pisces maybe, something having to do with the moon, and Hangman has to do with like Mercury. So maybe how you are communicating also, or talking to people. One more card from this deck. Pleasure. 6 of Cups. In this deck, it's Scorpio, Sun in Scorpio. I do kind of get a lot of that. I mean, it's all these cards are about like looking for help, guidance, and kind of like searching within and looking above, and the sun, and also Scorpio. It's like water and that emotion, and we help showing something to someone. Maybe you are this person that is illuminating things for others, or I want to say like show and tell sort of demonstration again with the sun, and these look like lanterns. There's all this light, so just so much, so many things just brought to life and intertwining. Also, maybe you're starting to see all the connections, all the this also looks like copper piping. I don't know if that means anything to anyone. The Nine of Discs is on the bottom. You can see this colorway in the Venus Judgment, Lana Del Rey. And I've talked about it before, kind of like skipping a step in a way. Primary colors, jumping ahead. Maybe you've thought a lot about something, you're able to just sort of fast track it towards the next step. This is very young energy though, so maybe something coming back from the past. Usually this has something to do with like running into someone from the past, or maybe a memory, or something that reminds you of something that maybe helps you out. Maybe be on the lookout for, maybe not dismiss sort of anything that pops to mind. Could be dealing with children. There's a lot of like give and take, I feel like, between the star and this. Trouble talking tonight. Yeah, this reminds me of some sort of Chinese lanterns. It's funny, you know, both 6 and 9, I think I mentioned that before, like opposite. Maybe the 9 is important because the Hermit did fall out before. So that kind of corresponds with the Hangman and the High Priestess, and sort of taking time. Maybe you're one of those people that just sort of needs a lot more alone time, or something that just sort of rejuvenates you, like the star. You know, some people gain, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, from being around other people, they gain energy, and others, like myself, need to have their alone time and then can come out and be their, like, you know, best self or something, and just, you know, that time to re-energize, like the Energizer Bunny kind of thing. Needing to recharge, kind of feel like. Maybe family, spending time with family, remembering something, memories, just help you feel good, you know. Show, give, share, that kind of, it's very, again, very loving, very sweet energy. So maybe also, again, you're that kind of person that's just showing someone else the way, showing someone else how to do something, being a guide for them, being a mentor kind of thing. Let's see. I'm going to pull from this Hermetic Tarot. Ten of Pentacles. So we got the Ten of Water before, and the Ten of Pentacles. Again, oh, here's Virgo. Lord of Wealth. There's not a ton going on, but again, more flowers, just sort of, again, I think I've said this before, like, you can be wealthy in any sort of respect. You can be wealthy with love, wealthy with what you value, but, you know, your family, all these kinds of things. And so what gives you, you know, maybe you're just spending a lot of time with family and that's just sort of making you feel nourished or like, you know, brought back to life. There's a lot of like blossoming kind of like the tree of life. There's so much like flowers, and these kind of look like I said, lanterns. Also, kind of like a bouquet. Flowers here, tree of life, the sun. Seems like really positive for the next few days. Like maybe you can be expecting some good news or something having to do with the 10th house, your work, your job. Ace of Pentacles is on the bottom. Magician. So using all your mental faculties, and again, kind of like the Hangman associated with Mercury, making something, creating something, more creative energy, more the Alchemist. I think of 4 steps to like success and things like that. I think it was like 4, something having to do with 4 steps within that, the prologue or something in that book, The Alchemist. Maybe magic, making magic. Again, bringing things to life with your mind. I don't know if that makes sense to you. Like, really just sort of imagining something before you go into it and allowing it to sort of take shape. Maybe that allows for easier, like, sort of processes. Magic wand. Some sort of, all your tools. Maybe you need to bring out a new tool. Something that, your toolbox, your tool belt, you know, the things that your resources, the things that you utilize all the time. But again, having to do with speeches, and this is very much like I am energy also. Someone who might talk a lot, someone who a lot on their mind, as above, so below. What are you thinking about right this second? Maybe that's your answer. This card pops out whenever. It is kind of like a confirmation kind of card. I just feel like sound waves too. You can see sort of like, yeah, these sort of sound waves overlapping, creating new sounds. Hermes, Mercury, quintessence. Again, something having to do with power. So it makes you feel powerful. It makes you feel like you're in control. 10 of Pentacles is also about like heritage and family, and so I feel like there's a lot of like familial type energy. Generations. Putting on a play. Just success and enjoying your environment, enjoying the things that you've worked for. Maybe sharing that with your family. Maybe you have some good news to share with your family the next few days. Some sort of Ace of Pentacles job promotion, or just a fun fact. Something that makes you smile, that makes you feel young, like the sun and the 6 of Cups. It brings some like Leo, like pleasure. And maybe you're going to see a play. Maybe you're going to it's just thought of like sword in the stone. So maybe you're the only one that can like accomplish this task. Maybe it has something to do with work. Maybe it's up to you. Maybe you're taking some time to think about how you're going to get it done, who you can talk to, what resources and tools you have to use, what skills, what knowledge. I also think of like Merlin or something like that with this card, especially not always with the magician, but just with this one. Invention to, and how technology was always kind of deemed magical, but it was really just technology back in the, Middle Ages. So, so maybe again with the High Priestess, things that are a little bit veiled over, hidden, or secret, or secret knowledge, things that seem mysterious that maybe aren't. Once you shine a light on them, once you just pay a little bit more attention to them, or look into things a little bit further, or just dive in, sort of get things off the ground and going. Looks like he has some sort of spell going on. All this stuff at his feet. Kind of reminds me of there's justice on the bottom, and fortitude, strength. Gosh, what is going on? It kind of reminds me of the same sort of bringing something to light. It's like almost like he's making this sort of statue. Like a protective circle or something. And so says all the things that he's working with. So like surrounding yourself with the tools, the things that make you feel comfortable. Your surroundings, the Ten of Pentacles. It's being on the up and up too, because Magician reverse can be like a little bit tricky and a little bit, just not telling it like it is, or just, pulling the wool over someone's eyes. I feel like all these cards are very intertwined, kind of like the Six of Cups. They're all they have the opportunity, the ability to illuminate something. Sun, High Priestess, one headlight, but also the ability to sort of turn a blind eye or just not really see what's there, to ignore something that maybe just is too complicated or too much to sort of sort out or figure out right now. Kind of up to you. Do you want to tackle that? I also think of all these like little lines here. Something I know is just in Australia, and how they were instructed to go onto the beach and draw 3 lines in the sand, which reminds me of like a rainbow spectrum, and at sunrise, and just say like 3 things that they're grateful for to start out the day. Some sort of Aborigine ritual kind of thing. Just kind of reminds me like a ritual. So what are your morning rituals? Things that you could maybe also looks like he has a telescope, so zooming in on something, seeing something up close. Speaking your mind. Fortitude is the same as strength. And I think about in the new playlist how everything that happened in Tribeca and how there was, in that playlist, Triangle Hotel. I actually lived in Tribeca for a year. It's so weird that it's like right by where I lived that all that stuff happened. I think of geometry and like the, what's it called? The chart. Always blank on names, but you know, the elemental chart, chemistry, what's it called? So again, systems, and I just think it's so interesting how you really can find all these things happening in the alchemical cycle, whether it's just a word or something, and how everything just sort of, whether people are aware of it or not, it comes about. So I saw something on the news about the people that were indicted that were like, something having to do with agriculture, and I totally call that like feasibility thing. It's so weird when those things pop to your mind. That's when you know it's like coming from somewhere else, and it's not just your like, because it's like confirmed a day later. Fortitude though, like having daughter of the flaming sword. So again, sword and stone kind of thing. Taming something, maybe taming speech, taming how you're looking at something, your instincts on something, taking just a minute, you know, reminding yourself to take a minute before you jump in. Notice the shield, again, the lion, and it looks kind of like a lunar node. So maybe something having to do with the moon again, with the high priestess and connecting to your emotions, and maybe your emotions affecting how you come across or say, or how you say something. Maybe paying attention to that, knowing your triggers. Let's see. Moon is in. I'd like to note the moon is in Aries, so it's all about brand new, fresh starts. Sun in Scorpio, again, it's like sort of fire and water. Moon in Aries, taking the initiative, feeling something strongly, and kind of going on those instincts, kind of like the Fortitude card, but there's a lot of contemplative energy, so maybe it's advising to just sort of the Pentacle cards and all the Mercury. It's taking, and the Hangman, taking time to really think about something before you say it. There might be a situation or something that Aries people tend to just sort of, go on those instincts and like first do something because of it. Or leaders, very much like the sun, but less. It's less. I don't know. I think I've put some videos that describe it before, but like the sun is more about like you, and you're like happy that things are like, it's younger energy too. I feel like it's when something happens and you're like, oh, that applies to me, and it's very like youthful. Maybe something's making you feel very youthful. Your morning ritual or something. Maybe you found some good night cream. But kind of like all over the spectrum too, because the Nine of Pentacles is all about like longevity, and the Ten of Pentacles as well, like enjoying the fruits of your labor kind of thing. So maybe remembering how it was for you when you started out in like your career, or beginning of some sort of relationship, at the beginning of just from childhood, something coming to mind that's influencing your actions, how you see yourself, how you let your emotions affect your words, how you could just be dealing with someone, again, Fortitude, having to do with like the strength cards. So you might just be dealing with a lot of Leo energy. Someone, maybe you have a lot of maybe it's you or someone you know, but just has a lot of that expressive, kind of all about me sort of energy. But I always feel like it's more like innocent. It's never like a, I don't know. It's never done with like malintentions. It's just enjoying your friendships, enjoying the people that you surround yourself with, enjoying how you go about, enjoying, just like really enjoying life. I feel like the next few days. Also vetting the situation with the lion here. Just having a lot of strength, a lot of courage, a lot of conviction, maybe, because you thought a lot about something. And now you have the answers. You feel very strong with where you're coming from, and you are able to move forward. It's so dry out here. I got these weird cards that are almost like coasters. They're a puzzle. They're the major arcana, but they're a puzzle. What is happening? And they have like arrows. But it didn't come with instructions. I've never seen this anywhere before, so I don't really know how to use it as a puzzle. But I thought maybe there's totally different imagery. So I thought maybe I'd pull a few from these and just maybe the imagery will speak to you. What else do people need to know? So you could be dealing with a Leo, you could be dealing with a Pisces, just taking, checking yourself, like, don't rush into things. You might be feeling a little bit impulsive. Like, everything's great, so why question it, kind of thing. The Hermit, I guess that really did want to come out. Number 9. It's just different cards. So again, searching for the truth, searching for answers, contemplation, going it alone, being on your own, being, it could be coming out of that, if that's what you've been doing, but again, illuminating the star, illuminating your path, one step at a time. It's funny, it's been coming up a lot in every reading for the last 2 or 3 readings. Number 9. So again, just searching, looking into things, finding your way through a sort of murky, I want to say, or dark situation, where you just can't see the outcome, really. Like, maybe that's why it's been taking you a while. Like, maybe you've been, like the Hangman, like hanging out for a while. The High Priestess, looking into things, really connecting, maybe even going like to some sort of religious sort of, looking for answers, talking to someone, research. So this almost looks like it's just like sitting on him. Doesn't really look like it. But it's also about wisdom, I just want to say. Like, again, using your higher mind with the Strength card and just really feeling your way through something. Following the lights. I don't remember where I heard this, but like someone once said, if you're ever out on a walk and maybe a street light lights up, you go that way. And the next street light lights up, and you keep following those lights, keep following where the path is illuminated, where there is sunlight, where things do feel positive and like they're bringing something back into your life, like the star, nourishing, like Aquarius, the water bear, maybe needing to think outside the box for answers, for the right thing to do, the right move to make, for which way direction to go. All of this is about looking for direction. All of it's about looking for the right answers and just kind of being a hermit, being by yourself and really looking within, connecting to whatever it is that makes you feel alive and makes you feel like you are on the right path. Like, what's the last time you remember yourself being in a situation where you feel like there's no question in my mind about where I'm going or what it is I'm doing? What made you excited about that? How can it apply somehow to now? I mean, again, these are all like friendly reminders. I don't pretend to know everything. I should take my own advice more often. But there's a lot of 9s and 6s, and 9s are the end of a cycle. So maybe again, you've just sort of been doing that. You're coming out of it, and you're ready to apply everything that it is you've been looking for, all the knowledge, all the instruction. It's like he's on some sort of personal walkabout. A lot of Australian, going for a wander, I think I mentioned that before, a walkabout. That's a song by Augustines, I think. Because there's a city in the background. Looks like he's been on a, just sort of a retreat, a personal retreat, maybe just going for a walk, maybe getting the wheels moving and just needing to sort of, let things sort of flow, the energy move. I feel like walking is one of the best things you can do, is just to get the energy moving and flowing within you and to sort of clear your head, and maybe that's what you're doing, like needing to clear your head, get some exercise, get the blood moving, and just get out of the house or something. Explore the neighborhood. Do something you haven't done before. Especially if you're looking for answers, especially maybe needing to gain a new perspective in order to get the answer that you need, and that just requires you to go somewhere different, change up your location, change up where you typically hang out, or who you typically talk to, give you a new perspective, put things in a different context. There's just so much like illumination and light. So what does that mean to you? Speed of Light. I think that's another Coldplay song I mentioned before. But all it's about like taking your time to something. Almost looks like he just stepped into some sort of ditch or something. Like it was a shallow sort of, it wasn't stable, and he's now stuck. Maybe it's just the person that you're dealing with, a hermit, someone you need to you're looking into, or they're looking into you. Maybe it's a Virgo, because we have this here, Virgo. Temperance is on the bottom, so again, it's about tempering something in the Fortitude Strength card, tempering your baser instincts, and illuminating your mind and lighting something up, and something in like a, something happening in a kitchen, maybe? Strength card fell out again. It's different imagery. So, a lot of Leo and Virgo, and sometimes this is associated with Sagittarius too, as of the girl on the card. Maybe it's just me but again, the sun in the background. It's going to be really sunny the next few days. I haven't checked the weather. I don't know. but fire energy like Aries, and just really wanting to start and just going for it. Like, I feel like it's like hold me back kind of thing. It's like that little kid that you're having to like try to, button up before they're just like dying to get outside, and just taking all the necessary steps and precautions or something like that. It's very small cards. I feel like some sort of Xena warrior princess kind of thing with strength cards sometimes. And the Nine of Pentacles too. So independent females. You can control something. But most people would probably deem as like a vulnerable situation that you find yourself in, but you've thought enough about it, you've had enough practice, whatever it is, that it's number 8. Those came up in the last reading, the Hermit. And the greatest strength, the Flood, warnings and things like that. Star was flipped up again. The future also, Aquarius. I always think of future astrology, like looking into the future, looking for answers from signs from above. Your birth chart, your natal chart maybe, bringing some answers, things to light for you. If you haven't looked that up, you should. It's like a map of you, which I kind of think of as with the Hermit, following some sort of map, and maybe you're figuring things out one step at a time, like how to understand it, what it means. So much hair. Maybe look closer at something, look again. Maybe you're spending a lot of time on your own and enjoying your own time, doing a lot of research into someone or something. It's like really humid in a way. It's kind of dry though too. Anything else? Tower. Some sort of shock. I just want to say stunner. 16. Lightning. Electricity. Again, lighting up the dark sky. Creating lightning, creating friction, lighting up your mind, illumination, and wow, it's weird. This brick wall just reminded me of the 50th Street subway station. Maybe it was on the 1 train, yeah. I also used to live in Hell's Kitchen, and I'd take that down to FIT, or I also worked in Hell's Kitchen in Midtown at Bar American, which was when I was in school at FIT, and as much as like the touristy kind of stuff was like, this was right there, and you'd always have people coming in and like, oh my god, is Bobby Flay here today? And you're like, he's not here, he's never here. Like, but I've seen like 5 different restaurants, I don't know. But it was cool because you would always see like, I saw so many people like, I remember I got Mr. Big's coat one time because I was a coat chat girl. And what's his name from that CW Superman? I never even thought was that like that attractive until like one day I was like fiddling with the menus or something, and you look up and there's this like 7 foot tall guy with like dark hair and like bright blue eyes just like smiling down at me and like, oh, can you please fit us in? I'm like, of course. I don't know, the redhead guy from Modern Family, the girl from what's her name, Gilmore Girls. It's just so weird. It's so surreal when you see, what happened. It was always so nice. Meryl Streep one time I sat Meryl Streep. She was so nice. It was always fun running into people. Let's see. I think everyone should work in a restaurant like once in their life, and it's a very humbling experience and good, learning to work with others, that kind of thing. Maybe you're going to a restaurant, family going out to play, going to a restaurant, looking into reservations or something. Made of water. I came up in the last reading. Hold on, let me shuffle these. Dodging things. Anything else you need to know? Oh my god, it's too weird. First of all, on the bottom is the Ten of Pentacles again. Where the deck split is the stars, 17. Again, Aquarius. And the ones that flipped out is the Strength card, Leo. And the Knight of Earth, another Virgo. Riding into the sunset. A lot of like, just again, getting out into nature, things like that. Maybe you have an affinity for horses and you just wanted to go horseback riding. Breaking out of something though. I feel like busting out of something, like busting out of your normal routine, switching things up, allowing that to be the gateway, portal, some sort of doorway, some sort of entrance. It's like, do you choose to go in? Do you choose to go the same way that you've always gone? Do you open that door? You have the key, you're the high priestess probably here, situation. You have the key to open that door, and it might just be you. There's so much sun, individual energy. It might just be you. You're the only one with the key to open that gateway to another dimension, to another reality, to another way of going about things, to seeing things in a new way, changing up your life, or just your week, and just bringing some newness in. Maybe just, riding coats, and I have this like one awesome riding coat that I was going to talk about. I don't think I have it here, but I forgot about it, and I meant to say it in some of the readings, but then it's like way too late. It's past fashion week. But there's this awesome Calvin Klein jean jacket from the 90s, and it was just so, this might apply to someone, so simple. So it was a very soft blue jean denim, like no fading, nothing, just like a normal, like very simple jacket, but was a riding coat, and just was so slimming too, and just kind of curved around the hips and came down at like mid thigh, and it was just a cool coat. You could just wear it with like leather pants and heels and like a t-shirt, and it was just made everything don't come to life. Like it just made the outfit. So I kind of think of Louis Vuitton in like their recent collection, but it was much more like a day wear, I guess, kind of all occasion kind of thing. And jean jacket. But it really did just like fit so well, especially from profile. Just it was very fitting and nice, and I don't know, it looks so cool in a lot of different applications. And again, 11 here, it's, master number, it's a gateway. So, again, the standing ovation is what this card has come through as when I've heard that term. So, other side has a sense of humor. And I did say with the Ten of Pentacles, some sort of play, the typical imagery looks like some sort of, could look like a play set. So again, Midtown, Broadway. I think of the High Priestess backstage. I swear my mom has some sort of, I don't know, front. Not really. But she says all of these things to me too. She's like, no idea what I do back, behind the scenes. It's talking about behind the scenes. And again, what is just like the Wizard of Oz, like the man behind the curtain. Is it larger? Is it larger than life? Or is it just in your imagination that something is larger than life and you pull back the curtain and it's actually just life-size and something that is manageable? With that 8th house and things you don't really always want to look at. It can mean that. And maybe just tackling those things and checking them off your list, and maybe they're not as bad or as big and overwhelming as you think. Because the star is like about help also, and receiving and giving help. And this is a song that I have in my jump video. I think people thought that that was like something having to do with race. Like, that's so dumb. Just because the song itself is named Liberation. I just like the song and applied to what I was working on at the time, or what I felt like I was going through at the time. And the guy in the videos was actually my roommate, or not my roommate, I'm thinking about my other friend, but like my neighbor. Maybe your roommate is important. If you have a roommate. My neighbor, my downstairs neighbor, and he used to like jump in his Instagram photos in front of art installations. So like it was kind of like a experiment in animation for me, and just, I don't know, just because he's African American, there's a song called Liberation. I'm like, I feel like people like make things about race, and they don't have to be. Like, that was never my intention. It never even crossed my mind. And I don't know. Sometimes I'm just kind of like, I don't know, I'm the most accepting person. Someone will call me like ignorant or like racist for making something like that. I'm like, I feel like people create their own issues sometimes. I don't know. And, I hope no one takes offense to this, because I really am like the most accepting person when it comes to those kinds of issues. I'm just like, I don't care, See everyone as equal, but you can't expect someone to see you as equal. And then also tiptoe around you kind of thing, and not do something like that had nothing to do with race, And I think every religion, race, ethnicity is experienced backlash or discrimination throughout history. I mean, everyone has, and whether or not it even fits into that those categories, I've experienced so much. I don't know what the right word is, but just hurtful actions, I would say, like by others, like just for whatever reasons, people's impressions, people are, and racism is taught, by the way. Like, I don't think I have to like tell you people that, but like, it is. I remember trying to like join a, this is silly, but I had no perception of race. I went to school, it was very accepting, very just there's an article, maybe I can find it, that talked about lab school and just how kindergarten was like a UN with potty accidents. Like it never was even. It was just normal to me that everyone, there was a diversity, and there, everyone had different skin colors and came from different backgrounds and all that kind of thing. I never even, until I tried to join some sort of Girl Scout thing, and then I had no idea it was just for African Americans. They told me, they were like, or I guess I told my mom, I don't know, but thought it was implied, like I couldn't join. And that was like my first introduction to division, so we create those divisions too. I keep seeing commercials for like Black girls that code, and I'm like, why don't girls that code, or just kids that code, like sometimes segregation leads to more segregation, and maybe we should just let those bigots and the people that are racist just, sometimes just can't change people's minds, and people are set in their ways, and we just let them die out, and we should just focus on the next generation and bringing them up to not see those lines and divisions by creating more of them. That's just my opinion, but I don't know how I got on that topic. The Stars, though, talks about the future. So I think of future generations and making things better for the next generation, and just our everyday actions, and just think like twinkling, like those, what is this word? Maybe constellations again, like whatever you connect with, whether it's more air, stars, or earth, grounding, or, just whatever works for you. And so, let's see. Is there anything else I'd like people need to know? Anything else? Two of Swords. Oh yeah, in the first playlist, it's MIA Paper Planes, and I just realized that, like, in the beginning, it's by Fulton and Broadway. Just in a truck. Came through in, like, I don't know when, but it was also a warning. You know I love that song. It takes me back to 2008. Again, I see the moon, and this is a comparison to something just like something else. It could be just seeing the clear way through, removing the blindfold, seeing things how they are, and just moving forward. Removing the defenses, also, which is very defensive. So it's about listening, about, having to use all your other senses since she's blindfolded. So again, finding your way through the dark, seeing something, feeling something, when you don't have all the information. Number 2, so it could have something to do with like partnership or another person, or just a choice between two things. But this has been coming through a lot. I think I mentioned in the last video is a comparison between similar type things when you say something's just like something else. And the moon. So there you go. Moon is very important. Moon and Aries. You can also look into your second house, or just where you have your moon. Again, like sort of like the intersection, cross point, where two things, cross over, crossing the aisle, crossing to the other side, seeing from a parallel dimension, seeing the other person's point of view, knowing that you have a long way to go, which path to take. Maybe you're wondering which path to take. Temperance is on the bottom again. So maybe one card to clarify which path would be good to take for those watching this video. So, as always, it's your own magic intuition. Okay, I didn't realize this fell out. Prince of Swords fell out. So maybe a Gemini. And this is the 8 of Cups again. So something having to do with emotion, or maybe something that takes you away from some sort of emotion. something that brings some sort of internal relief. Again, the sun, the moon. Maybe your midpoint is really important. That's what I meant by conjunction, midpoints. Point of conjunction, midpoint of the sun and the moon as a really good representation of your personal expression. So the midpoint between maybe it's general energies between Aries and Scorpio, and or just your own personal birth chart, looking up your moon and your sun sign, you can look up midpoints. A midpoint calculator online and just put in your, you can get actually all your planets, or you can do it by hand. Yeah, mine is 2 degrees Pisces or Virgo. I don't remember. Maybe it's Pisces. So it talks a little bit about, what your kind of ideal match is. You might also want to look up Juno. It's overrated or underrated, but it talks about for women what you will be like in a long-term relationship or after marriage, and for a guy, I was doing love readings, so maybe this would be helpful for people beyond your Venus and Mars and Jupiter. But for guys, it talks about what your ideal match would be after marriage or after long-term partnership, in one long-term partnership. How things are kind of after the honeymoon sort of situation. So both of those things, which is what this can kind of mean too sometimes, both. Maybe you need to find where things come together. Where's their, they're kind of like the I Ching, like their minority rule kind of thing, or what do they both have in common kind of thing. But between your midpoint and Juno, those are two kind of secret points, asteroids, things to look up in your chart tell you a lot about yourself. And yeah, there's just a few different ways to calculate it, but most calculators will give you the right one. It just kind of depends. Again, 8th house. Yeah, so that might be important to see what you have going on in your 8th house. And even if you don't have planets there, just the houses that have planets in them are where your attention is drawn more towards, where your energy is kind of focused naturally. Where you don't have planets, kind of a little bit like covered, or been there, done that, I want to say. Walking away from something. It could be coming back, like we'll be right back kind of thing. Searching your subconscious too, and there's so much of that like contemplative energy, I think, of really going into the depths of something and seeing the space between leaving something behind you or taking just one thing with you, what you carry. 8, though, it's about reclaiming your power in general, and just infinity and things that have that sort of sustainable longevity to them in a way. Ups and the downs, and I think of moon and tides, and ups and downs, and push and pull, and I think I did mention friction before, and tension, so where there's that push and pull in the sun and moon midpoint, and that's what it talks about, like what your kind of more authentic expression, personal expression is, between your sun, your ego, and your how you see yourself, and self-expression, and all these things in the moon, and your emotions, what kind of drives you emotionally speaking, and how you're feeling, and how you express that. So how that comes out in different ways. So that midpoint being a good way of understanding how you kind of generally come across, maybe. I'll pull an oracle card. This is getting long. them up. This reading says, I haven't used these in a while, so. And the Tower did come through before. Again, sort of like the spectrum. Light shining, coming through the clouds and seeing the light of day, seeing the hope, the breakthrough. That's what it talks about. The Tower, normally it's like, even if it's some sort of shock or unexpected happening, it is a clearing away of some things that there is, it's like the silver lining kind of thing. Silver lining is that it's now cleared away, and you can rebuild or do whatever it is. There's some sort of epiphany, there's a clearing, it's a breakthrough in your mind, which I also think of with the Hangman, and going for a walkabout, and something bringing clarity to the situation. Distance, isolation, like the Hermit, perspective. How weird are these things, and why is this happening? Distance not only gives nostalgia, like the Six of Cups, that can talk about nostalgia, memories from the past, but perspective and maybe objectivity, Robert Morgan. Physical distance or emotional detachment serve to give us a greater comprehensive view. Distance may also provide a clear overall perspective than a close-up would. So you being the judge of that. You need to get closer to a situation, know more about it, and to zoom in on something, see all the details, or do you need to take a broader step back and see the big picture? From this vantage point, we can often get the big picture and reach different conclusions. A solitary woman strolls on a desolate beach, her isolation providing a point of reflection, like the moon, distanced from the influence of others. This is a scene of personal contemplation. The floating monoliths provide a perspective and suggest the distances with greater emphasis than would an empty sky, perhaps representing issues in her life. Their distance reinforces her isolation, but may also provide her with a perspective and clarity of vision that she is seeking. We need to strike a balance when assessing a situation. Are we too closely involved, or should we step back? There we go. There's just all that sort of should you, shouldn't use, close, get closer, get further away. It makes me think of maybe I can find it, I don't know, you go for something, will it push people more, further away, or stepping back, will you seem less interested, kind of weighing of your options sort of thing, I think, with the Two of Swords and which way to go, and emotion playing a big role, and just a lot of that tension, and just wondering, I think, maybe I'll pull one more just because, that summed everything up, but maybe clarity? Just fell out, pointing to my little fireplace, maybe going the world, travel, all these globes. This makes me think of a Taylor Swift video, and 80s boots. It was pointing towards the fireplace, maybe going more, walking away from the emotion and going more towards the fiery, passionate side of something. 17 again. There's that yin and yang, so again, it's just all about that balance and complementary aspects too, maybe. Seeing how someone or something complements you, Libra in the background, so again, weighing your options, and Libra is the only one with an inanimate object as their symbol, the scales. So it is about justice too. I don't know if these are meant to fall out. This is 39, Dove, Peace. This also looks like these wings look very similar to me. Little like dots on them, can you see? Clarify. Maybe you lean more towards the fiery side of your personality. Enjoy that more. 32. Dear Diary. It's kind of a weird card. Here you go. 1. Aries, I think of. Again, doves. 3 doves. 4. Yeah, 3 doves. And this is thinking about like memories and diaries and writing out your thoughts and maybe writing things down, lock it, something, keeping, illuminating something again. New beginning, release from the past. So maybe, again, like sort of leaving the baggage behind or something, the emotional hang-ups, that kind of thing. If you can, being more conscious of that. You may have a fresh start any moment you choose for this thing we call failure. It's not the falling down, but the staying down. I feel like someone told me recently, like, run towards failure, because failure is the only thing that keeps us, like, knowing that we're progressing in a way. Like, something doesn't work, at least now he's taking one more step. Like, to move on from failures, or simply to expand and explore new horizons, we make choices to leave the past behind, whether it is in the form of treasured objects of material or symbolic value, relationships, careers, familiar surroundings, or even personal ideals. At some point, we may have to discard them like a tree shedding leaves in order to liberate ourselves and allow our future to grow. For future growth, I think liberation and the tree of life we mentioned before. On the floor are 3 discarded cards, each a fool from my 3 tarot decks. On the box, their spirits are released as doves for a new beginning. Ensure that the time is right to move on. Has your present circumstances been truly fulfilled, or is it being abandoned prior to its completion? 32. Memories, lessons learned, choices made. Memory is a diary that we all carry about with us. Oscar Wilde, the importance of being earnest. Being very earnest in your approach to something, very honest. A woman closes her eyes as she contemplates treasured memories from the past. She releases to the world all of the details of her thoughts and feelings, successes and failures, good times and bad. Remembered moments fly about her as pages from the diary swirl like falling leaves. From an open locket, a golden light streams with images of love, of loves lost but not forgotten. Embracing a favorite doll that remains with her still, she relives all that has been. This card captures tender moments and childhood joys, like the 6 of Cups. So, yeah, tapping into all of those things, I guess, or maybe things like that coming about in your life the next few days, bringing you back to the past, bringing you forward, helping you choose the right path for you. So I hope this was helpful. If you enjoyed the reading, thanks for joining me. Bye.